Mr. Mayor, I certainly hope so. You keep a tough fight, because I am just blowing us out, RICO.
You can count on me, baby.
I almost felt
I'm going nowhere. And all this stuff about cooperating, you're damn right I'm going to cooperate. I'm going to cooperate and show what criminals they are and what they're doing to our Constitution and how they're destroying it and how they are a disgrace to my profession. That's what I'm going to cooperate with.
good for you.
Rudy Giuliani has officially been indicted for his undying loyalty to Donald Trump. And amidst the mountain of rapidly moving information and evidence, there are also two really ironic takeaways from the Georgia election interference indictment that we should get into. The first is, of course, that the Trump team, in whipping themselves into a frenzy about being the victims of election fraud, went on to commit election fraud themselves. Fulton County DA Fani Willis has the receipts linking top members of the Trump team to a breach in a voting system in Coffee County, Georgia, where an Atlanta-based forensics team was granted entry to an elections office at the request of Trump lawyer Sidney Powell. Video surveillance shows an hours-long meeting where the forensics team handles, copies, and scans the state's most sensitive voting software, and no, this is not legal, nor did the team get a warrant or any sort of authorization for any of this. This was a coordinated effort by, again, those top Trump officials to skirt election laws to find any shred of evidence of fraud that had clearly, in no uncertain terms, been debunked by scores of lawyers, politicians, and even members of the Trump administration. And this leads to the second ironic point about all of this and how it concerns Rudy Giuliani specifically.
Why the hell is Fani Willis trying to charge you with racketeering?
Because she's a politician and not a lawyer, not an honest, honorable lawyer. This is a ridiculous application of the racketeering statute. There's probably no one that knows it better than I do, probably some that know it as well. I was the first one to use it in white-collar cases. But in major cases like the Boesky case and the Milken case, this is not meant for election disputes. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Giuliani now faces the rest of his life in prison under a RICO charge, which is the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. And Giuliani is no stranger to RICO cases. Not only was he acquainted with it when he was a lawyer for the Southern District of New York, he practically created the roadmap for prosecutors to use it effectively. According to Slate, quote, Giuliani and his team were the first prosecutors to figure out how to use RICO in a systemic way in a major felony case. In the Mafia Commission trial, the Southern District indicted 11 mafia figures who controlled myriad businesses and municipal services across New York City. Convicted of charges including extortion, labor racketeering, and murder for hire, the leaders were sentenced to between 70 and 100 years in prison. So this and some other high-profile racketeering cases put Giuliani on the map as a prosecutor, which then led to a name recognition that led him to be elected mayor of New York City, and further down the road to where he is now, spending the rest of his life in prison for crimes he used to send people to prison for. This whole Georgia election fraud case is just so ironic. The election fraud victims doing election fraud, Rudy Giuliani's fall from grace. But aside from all of the dramatic intrigue, these charges from Fani Willis, the clear evidence she has compiled, it's without a doubt the most slam dunk indictment against Trump and all of his co-conspirators as well. For more of my coverage on the breakdown, stay right here and check out my latest video on Marjorie Taylor Greene finally getting screwed over by her MAGA past by clicking on the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.